All right, everybody, here we are. We are in the book of Matthew, chapter 6. We've been working our way through the life of Christ for some time now, and really this entire school year, starting back in the fall. We have tracked everything from the predictions and prophecies about his arrival. We've looked at his genealogy. We have been through the beginning of his ministry and his baptism. And so we now are kind of like in the heart of his teaching. As we said just a little bit ago, before we turned the cameras on this morning, people have been hearing about Jesus from all over the area, from Judea, Palestine, whatever you want to call it. Everything from Tyre and Sidon in the north, all the way down past Judea to the end of the Dead Sea, from the beach all the way across into the Decapolis, the 10 cities across the Jordan. Thousands of square miles worth of people have heard about Jesus, and so wherever he is, that's where they want to be. In Matthew 5, 6, and 7, we have the Sermon on the Mount. There are parallels in the book of Luke, the same kind of material, which is also delivered in a large group format called the Sermon on the Plain. I don't believe it's absolutely necessary to believe that these two very identical sermons took place in two very different areas in very different settings. I think there is some possibility that just because of a different person's perspective, that this teaching could have been taking place at the same time. However, nevertheless, I will say that there are certain themes that Jesus taught on more than once. I mean, we don't just understand that Jesus said something about don't worry, God's going to take care of you, just one time in his ministry and his teaching. I would assume that there were probably several recurring themes that wherever he was, the same lessons would come up. I know that is the case with me. I know that is the case with other preachers and teachers that I know, that there's certain drums they like to bang no matter where they are because it's applicable to everybody. Okay? So there doesn't need to be a hard and fast, it has to be this or that. I think it could be more than one possibility here. We've talked about the Beatitudes, the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount. We have worked through kind of like paragraph by paragraph, chunk by chunk of teaching, looking at Matthew's and Luke's versions and comparing them. And we are now down in chapter 6, verse 19 of Matthew. In case you weren't here or you missed it the last time, the overall formula that Jesus seemed to be teaching, whether it was about fasting or prayer or almsgiving or whatever, when you're doing acts of righteousness, don't be like the Pharisee. Because they did it with the wrong motives. They were doing things to be seen, to be noticed. Jesus says, don't do it that way. Do it the right way. And when you do it the right way, God is going to reward you. There